the HET is not an independent body. It's made up of police, investigating police and British Army. What happened at Loughgall is quite clear, is that there was a shoot-to-kill operation in place and 9 men were killed, 8 of whom were Irish Republicans.
Many would argue that the IRA were going in to shoot.
8 of whom were IRA volunteers.
Can you address that point?
And one of them was a civilian, Anthony Hughes. I'm going to make the point here today that Irish Republicans exist and have sensitivities as well. And the people who were killed at Loughgall, 8 IRA volunteers and a civilian, were loved by their families, loved by their communities, held in high regard in places like Tyrone, Armagh and Monaghan. And I'm going to stand up for them on a human level today. My wife's brother was one of the 8 volunteers killed at Loughgall. I'm not going to disown Patrick Kelly or any of the other people who were killed at Loughgall. And I'll make the point that those who did the killing at Loughgall in County Armagh in May 1987 were far from their homes, English soldiers in County Armagh, and they killed Irish people on Irish soil. So was it a war or was it not a war? If it was a war, then the British government are wrong. They have said all along it wasn't a war. They were bound by the laws of democracy, law enforcement and all of that. And if that's the case, then they should have attempted to arrest them.
Do you accept the findings that the IRA should have pursued?
Well, I don't accept any finding from the Historical Inquiries team, principally because the HET, as they're now known, is not an independent organisation. It doesn't have international independent accreditation. It is an organisation made up of police, set up by police essentially to investigate police and British Army killings. So it lacks independence completely.
What if it had found the other way, that the SAS shot first?
Well, the SAS, by the way, is a euphemism for the British Army, often lauded in the media. Their job was to go into Tyrone and Armagh and other places and kill Republicans and civilians, and they did that. Sinn Fein has been critical of the HET from the outset. The very day that it was established, Sinn Fein issued a press release calling into question its independence and expressing our serious reservations about its lack of independence.
Ultimately, Mr McElduff, does it make any difference who opened fire that night? Because the outcome, as we all know, remains the same. It didn't make any difference to the outcome ultimately.
Well, it was a tragedy what happened at Loughgall in County Armagh, one of a long list of tragedies. Thankfully, we're now attempting to build politics and to build peace in the island of Ireland. Republicans and others are very actively involved in that process. But I'm going to say today that I'm happy to stand up for the reputation of those killed at Loughgall in May 1987.
You say it was a tragedy. If it had gone the other way and the IRA had shot, say, 8 British soldiers, would that have been a military success?
Well, what I will say is we should be trying to move forward. And what happened in the media this morning when a DUP MP gloated over the murders of 9 people at Loughgall, when Gregory Campbell said such things as they got the medicine that they deserved. Can you imagine the reaction if an Irish Republican, if a Sinn Féin public representative or member had said the British Army got the medicine that they deserved? I would call for some tight scrutiny by the media over intemperate comments from leading politicians, including Gregory Campbell MP.